we will be doing 49ers opponents. The NFL schedule, like I said, is coming out. 2 days. 2 days. Hello. 2 days and 19 hours and 2 minutes left. It is going to be released on May 14, 2026, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. So I am obviously at the edge of my seat waiting for that. But for now, let us just predict the schedule. I know this is too early, but let's predict the schedule for wins and losses for the 49ers this year. I'm excited about this. I love doing this. As a kid, I always wanted to do this on a YouTube channel. And here I am. I'm doing it. Mom, are you proud of me? I know she is. All right, so let's start with the Vegas Raiders. Sorry, I'm just so excited. I'm honestly really excited. I just need some water. Hold on. All right, here we go. Las Vegas Raiders. Whoa, sorry. I'm super excited, bro. Vegas Raiders. Fernando Mendoza. That's pretty much it. And I'm telling you, Fernando is going to develop. He's going to be a great player. But obviously, these are one of these things that we won't know until we see the schedule. Like, are we going to face early Fernando when he's still getting used to it? Are we even going to face Fernando? Is it going to be, who's there? Is it Kirk Cousins? Las Vegas Raiders QB room. Let's see. It's Kirk Cousins, bro. And, and Clint Kubiak. I'm sorry. Let me put some respect. Former 49ers coach, former Seahawks coach. Unfortunately, he won a Super Bowl with the Seahawks. But I think that the Vegas Raiders overall could be mid this year. Could be like a 9-8 type team. But I think that is a win. I think no matter what part of the schedule it is, just depending on what part of the schedule, it will be like a close game or not. That's pretty much it. Or somewhat a close game, at least like a 1 possession game. All right, and then I have the Rams, Seahawks, and Cardinals twice on here. Let's just say this one's the home game against the Rams. So like the Australia game, the Rams home game. I honestly think we're gonna come out with a bang. Niners are gonna upset all the Rams fans. I'm sorry. I actually think the Niners will unfortunately split with the Rams because I'm being unbiased here. I think they win the Australia game, and then I think the Rams do get it back at San Fran. And I think that because usually that's what happens. The Rams usually win in San Fran. At least last year, I believe that's what happened. But I think we got to at least split. Rams are a great team. I have respect for them. But I'm sorry. I think that they're going to start 0-1. And this time, the NFC West team that starts 0-1 is not going to make the Super Bowl. That's what I hope so, at least, all right? Because we beat the Seahawks and they were 0-1 and then they won the Super Bowl. But whatever. Let's hope that doesn't repeat. So the Seahawks now. I don't know when we face them. I don't know why I'm trying to think of the schedule that came out already. But I think we split with the Seahawks too. I think that we win at Seattle. And I think we lose at home as well. And that's because I believe that also happened. And I believe, no. I don't think it happened last year, but I think that usually happens from my memory. But I think Brock Purdy's record in Seattle before last year was undefeated. So let's just do that. Cardinals now. Cardinals. Let's be for real. We don't got to talk about that too much. Anyways, I wish the Cardinals the best this year, but I think they should still kind of tank somewhat so they could get more picks. But hope Jeremiah Love pops off, to be honest. Just not against the Niners. The Vikings, Jawan Jennings' team. I don't remember. Oh, you know what? I should probably pull it up. 49ers opponents, because I need to know who's home and away. That's the only thing. So 49ers opponents, boom. Okay. The Vikings is home. Okay, our home. So wait, was the Raiders home or away? That's important. Okay, we're home too. I mean, actually, that's not very important. It's the Raiders. But the Broncos. Oh no, why am I thinking the Broncos? Sorry. The Vikings at home with Jawan Jennings, with Jettas. Who's their quarterback? Are you serious, bro? Is it JJ? Vikings QB room. Did they not address that this offseason? Are they just sticking with JJ? Oh, Kyler. That's right. Okay. this also kind of depends on what part of the season. Because Kyler could like be new to the system and stuff. JJ could be slowly working his way into getting used to it too. Oh, they also signed Carson Wentz to a 1-year deal. Okay. That's very difficult. But I think there's too much going on in that organization. That's a win for us. I mean, there's not really enough. There's not really much to be said. There's a chance that depending on what part of the schedule this is, it could be a trap game because usually we do lose to the Vikings for some reason, other than when we won in the playoffs like several years past. But like the Vikings, they usually have a good defense. And wait, who is their defensive coordinator that's really good too? Vikings defensive coordinator. Let's see. Oh yeah, Brian Flores. He's super good. And for some reason, Kyle never wins that matchup for the most part. So, it could be a trap game. You know what? Just to be non-biased and to even this out, I will put the Vikings at a loss, to be honest. Maybe they pull something out. Maybe Kyler magic. He has that one good game of the season. Maybe it's the beginning of the season. Kyler's usually only good at the beginning of the season. Yeah. Eagles, though. Is it home or away? Home. Let's be honest. We've owned the Eagles the past couple of years after Brock's injury and that whole NFC championship game was unfortunate. But I really do genuinely think that the Eagles are going to have a drop-off year this year. And I think we win that. And I think we win it pretty comfortably. Before the schedule drops, I got to look into it more. But I don't really know much of the Eagles offseason moves. But I know that they still have Jalen Hurts. And I know that A.J. Brown's potentially going to get traded and that relationship is not good. And I know as a football player that is not good for your team. To have your star player especially have a weird type of relationship with your coach or even your teammates is what I hear. And I think Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback, but I don't think he's a 2-time winning Super Bowl champion. People are going to think I'm hating. He earned that Super Bowl run, and I'm not going to deny that. And I think that, like, he had a great game against the Chiefs when they lost, and then he had a great game when he finally won the Super Bowl and blew out the Chiefs. That was an amazing game. I'm going to admit it. But it seems like it's just inconsistent. And I think that the Eagles, Jalen Hurts is not a type of quarterback that could carry a team. And with the whole A.J. Brown situation and not too many crazy pieces on the Eagles, I think that they're going to have a drop-off this year, maybe a 9-win team, honestly. And I think that people will be surprised, and I'm calling that right now. So I think that that's definitely one of our wins for sure. The Commanders, I think, will absolutely come out of nowhere. I'm going to be honest. Commanders had a great year 2 years ago. Everybody gave up on Jaden Daniels last year after, he got injured. Commanders had a drop-off year, and that's just what happened. But I honestly think that Jaden Daniels will bounce back. I do think that the Commanders will bounce back. Let's look at the roster here just very quickly because I believe in them. Look, we got Scary Terry still. They drafted Sonny Styles. Who's the running back? Rashad White's their starting running back. Okay, iffy. Odafe Owe, I'm pretty sure he's good. I think that, I don't know, something just tells me that the Commanders are going to surprise you guys. I think that there's a chance they could still be third in the division maybe. But I do think that they're going to do better than people think, which is better than 7 wins, to be honest, at least. They're going to be at least an 8 to 9 win team for sure. Or more. Who knows? They could surprise you, but not winning against us. Cowboys, I'm going to be honest. Bro. The Niners own the Cowboys, at least as of recent. But the Cowboys are coming up this year. They really are. I feel that. I think that Pickens staying was huge. CD, of course, being there. Dak is honestly a good quarterback. For some reason, you just can't show it in the playoffs. But he is a good quarterback. There's unfortunate things that happen to him in the playoffs, like the whole quarterback run. Couldn't get the spike off on time against the Niners. But I think that this is one of the games that might be a little bit tough. I think that the thing is, though, just like I value these other teams, I got to value our team. We are a superstar team this year. We're ready for the Super Bowl. And that's why I think this will be a very, very, very good and intriguing game. And I hear that it possibly may be a Sunday Night Football game. But I think the Niners do pull this off. But I think that'll be a great game and a close game that'll come down to the wire. That's for sure. So if it's Sunday Night Football, it'll be freaking phenomenal. Roger Goodell's freaking genius for that if he does that. The Chiefs. The Chiefs. To be honest, I really want to say this is a win, but I'm pretty sure Kyle Shanahan's not undefeated, the opposite of that, unwin-feated against the Chiefs. And I think that continues unless Patrick Mahomes isn't playing, to be honest. I think that we don't throw all our cards out when we face the Chiefs in the regular season, and I think that's shown, because then when we do in the playoffs, and it's a close Super Bowl, it goes overtime, but playoffs at least, regular season at least, I think the Chiefs win this. So I'm gonna put it in our loss column for now, but we'll see when the schedule comes out because we'll know a little bit more. Like, if it's later in the season, for sure, probably a loss. Earlier in the season, I'll give it a chance because Patrick Mahomes may not be back. So that's really it. The Chargers, I think they're a good team. Jim Harbaugh, former 49ers coach. I have a lot of respect. That was the Kaepernick days when I was younger, and I think that he definitely turned around the Chargers. But I don't know, bro. Something about the Chargers is just not good enough to match up against the Niners. And I just think that's just a clear win. The Chargers run game might be good. This might be an ugly game. This might be like a 10-13 type win. 30-13 type win. 3-13, sorry. I don't know if I sounded like I said 30, but 3-13 type win. But we pull that out. The Giants, Jackson Dart is up and coming. Cam Skattebo, Malik Neighbors. They just got someone else, didn't they? Giants roster. Let's see real quick. They obviously have Thibodeau still. I could have sworn they drafted a receiver. Oh, they also got Isaiah Likely, Abdul Carter. The Giants are looking like a Super Bowl. Sorry, not a Super Bowl team. A superstar team on paper. I think that there's a chance that this could be a good game. The thing is, though, it's still the Giants. It's still Jackson Dart's second year. I think that he's not going to, there was a lot of hype for him last year. And I was one of those hypers. Like, I would hype him up. Like, he's doing great. And, he got that swag. But I think that this year it might bite him in the butt a little bit. Like, that swag, that confidence. And it might hurt him a little bit. And I think against the Niners, it might. And I think that the 49ers are too skilled. Their coaches and players are outmatched them in all categories. I just think that's a win. Giants are a young team, but they will be solid this year, to be honest. The Atlanta Falcons, to be honest, I don't really know much about the Falcons this offseason. Who is their quarterback, bro? Falcons QB room, because Kirk Cousins is gone. So who's their quarterback? Penix? That's right. Penix and Tua. I forgot Tua, bro. Okay, well, if Tua plays, it's a win. Penix plays, we still beat Penix last year. I just don't see the Falcons beating his. Like, I think that's fair. Just straight up because of the quarterbacks. So that's a win. Let's do the Dolphins first. The Dolphins are on a rebuild year. That's a free win. That should be a free win. But who knows? Bad teams sometimes come out of nowhere. If it's at the end of the schedule, maybe it's just a trap game too, but I just don't see that happening. Lastly, the Denver Broncos. Shout out to my boy Braylon. He's a Broncos fan. We always talk Broncos and Niners. And last year we did like 3 hours on the game on the PS5. Not even playing, just talking and predicting who's going to make the playoffs, who's going to win. Obviously, we're both biased and we picked the Broncos and Niners to make the Super Bowl. But I genuinely think this could be a Super Bowl preview. It could be. Potentially. And it's not because I'm biased to my homie Braylon and for me, but I think there's a chance because the Niners are Super Bowl ready. The Broncos, honestly, were Super Bowl ready before Bo Nix got hurt. The only thing that will make me not believe that this is a preview is if Bo Nix comes back from injury late, or if he comes back from injury on time, but he's not the same Bo Nix. And he starts making bonehead mistakes and he's not as confident. But I think this will be a good game. We haven't been looking at home and away, but to be honest, most of these is not really that much of an impact. The Cowboys, I think away could be an impact. Honestly, just to even it out, let's put the Cowboys as a loss just because it'll be a good game. We don't know when it's on the schedule and it's away. So just because of that, I'll put that. The Broncos, though, is going to be at home in the Niners Stadium. Would have been huge if it was in Denver, to be honest. I think I might have gave it to the Broncos if it was in Denver. But sorry, Braylon. The Niners beat the Broncos in the regular season at least. But we'll see what happens in the playoffs if they face each other in the Super Bowl. But I think that the Bo Nix injury could have an effect. If this is the beginning of the season, Niners for sure win. End of the season could be a good game. We'll see. I'll have to reassess that when I do the schedule. When the schedule releases. I mean the rankings when the schedule releases. So this is my last this is the last look at my tiers. I got the Raiders, Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals both times, Eagles, Commanders, Chargers, Giants, Falcons, Dolphins, and Broncos. Those are our wins, and our losses is the Rams away game, Seahawks away game, Vikings, Chiefs, Cowboys. So that makes us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12-5 team. I think at minimum, maybe 11-6 at minimum, but realistically we could be 12-5. That's what I would say. So 12-5, here we come. Maybe 2 seed, 1 seed, maybe. But I do think there's a chance that we could win this Cowboys game. There's a chance that we could win this Chiefs game. There's a chance that, the division games could go either way. So, who knows? Sometimes having the 1 seed, though, is not the best thing, but obviously it's an easier road to the Super Bowl, at least in this the fact that you got to play one last game, and I think that's huge and huge for recovery. But, yeah, that is pretty much it.